Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at Zygarde and Duskmane Necrozma as well as Kyogre to see what we have going on here. Now, we did use this team. Check this out. This is my first game, and quite literally it's going to be a mirror team. They have the same Pokemon as I do, Zygarde and Kyogre. Okay. Yeah. I don't know, I was just a little blown away. So they made the swap here. I swap into my Zygarde and I'm thinking, that's interesting too, the same Pokemon. It happens. And then I can see their freaking Kyogre. So who's gonna win this one? Let's have a look and see. Hope everybody's having a good day. And let's just jump right into this here. So they're ahead of me just a little bit on that energy. Probably like one Dragon Tail pretty much. All right, going for our crunch here. I don't believe they have the defense drop quite yet. They might have gotten that last one. I think they did. But doesn't really matter. They're making it to the last crunch here. We are going to let it go. We do not want to use that last shield. So at this point, I think we're going to want to bring in our Kyogre to farm them down here. They probably will get to a crunch. No, not getting to one. Okay, great. So bring in that Duskmane. Go for it. That thing can't take a hit. That Surf as well as Waterfall are going to do a ton. We can let this go because we resist Steel. This is going to be a Dark Pulse here. Great. We can take that with the Kyogre. And they swap into their own Kyogre. We could have made it to freaking Thunder. And at this point, I was thinking, well, holy crap. Literally the same team the first game I played. Okay, sounds good, algorithm. Let's go for it. So we're getting off one of those Dark Pulses, doing a whole hell of a lot of damage here. They shield up that last one. Looks like they're going to farm me down. Sounds great. We're going to bring in our own Kyogre. Now, we're going to have to call this here. Ooh, yeah. So we're going to shield that up, and it was a Thunder, thank goodness. So what we're going to do now is just quick move them down, go for the Surf, and take the win. Let's get it. All right. So we're looking pretty good. Now, Duskmane is amazing. When it comes to Dawn Wings, that one's pretty good. I just prefer the Steel right now with the team combination that I do prefer to use here. Next game, we're going to be met with the Dialga. This is going to be a pretty good matchup here. Now, I was going to make this a video on why I don't like Go Battle League, but I think we talk about that plenty on random videos as well as a lot of other Go Battle League videos. So I kind of wanted to stray away from that and just, you know, take a look at this. Although there's many problems, okay, we understand this. I don't have to mention them every single time. So let's just see what we have going on here. Although there was plenty of frame skipping, which is super frustrating, especially at one of the most crucial times. You know, it's just so crazy. I understand that happens, but a little too fishy sometimes. Anyways, enough of that. Let's see what we have. Getting our first shield, they're going to be farming us down. And we're going to go ahead and bring in Zygarde here. Now, we do have two shields. I am going to go ahead and shield this up just in case it is going to be Roar of Time. And it's actually a Draco Meteor. Okay, well, not everybody was able to get that move because it was kind of annoying to get. And they are going to be swapping into their Tyranitar Shadow here. This is an amazing matchup for Zygarde. Zygarde is just OP, folks. I mean, this thing is just so stinking nasty. One of the few things that can go up against it and really have nothing to worry about is going to be Togekiss. Not even other fairies can just kind of shut it down. It still has Earthquake too. All right, next game we're going to be met with Palkia. This is going to be a good matchup for me here. And I'm going to go ahead and let that first Aqua Tail go as we do resist the Dragon Breath. And we're going to go ahead and get off two of these Dark Pulses. We've only built up to 1.5. They let that first one go. Unfortunately, they're going to be able to outpace us here. So I'm going to have to use a shield. We're still going to be pretty good with the health that we do have. So we're going to build up a little bit more energy. Go for the first Dark Pulse here. See if we can beat them. And of course we're not. You're never going to. All right, so we're going to let that go. And I think we're just going to bring in Kyogre because we would not want to go up against Palkia. So we'll just go ahead and farm it down there. And they're bringing in their Dawn Wings. Sounds good to me. Thing cannot take a hit, just like Duskmane. And they're letting that first one go. We're going to go ahead and swap into the Zygarde. They're retreating with energy and bringing in a Xerneas. Now we're not looking good. All right, well, let's go ahead and put my money where my mouth is and see if we can take them out. Like I said, oh, we don't need to worry about the other fairies. Well, we've done it before. It's not a secret. Take a look at that Earthquake there. Now, another Play Rough is going to be able to finish us off here, so that's not going to be great. Sorry, Moonblast. And we're going to go ahead and bring in Kyogre. Kyogre is freaking amazing, okay? It's definitely, I wouldn't say underrated because everybody knows it's amazing, but definitely one of my top picks for Master League. Of course, amongst many others. It's just Kyogre fits the bill with a lot of teams that I like to use here. So we're going to go ahead and shield this up. Check this out. Since they threw, we win, okay? That would have been just a couple of quick moves to take me out, but since they did that, I'm able to take the win there as I snuck that quick move through and got to enough energy to get off Surf with 1 HP. Hey, let's go. Next game, we're met with a Tapu Bull. It's an amazing matchup. They're going to be swapping into Landorus. We're going to go ahead and swap into Kyogre, and this is looking pretty good for us. Going to go for that Sansear Storm. Now, I want them to bring my health lower because I don't want that Tapu Bull to go in here and farm me down and get a ton of energy off me. So I left just a little bit of health left. As far as the quick moves are concerned, I think we're good enough here. You're going to be able to get a decent amount of farm, but that's okay. It just is what it is. The Dawn or the Dusk main is going to be able to kind of absorb the hits pretty well here. Solar Beam, I do believe, is what they're going to go for. It's the hardest hitting move that they do have. I do believe it also has a flying move, so yeah, so Solar Beam doing quite a bit of damage, swapping into Ho-Oh, and this is definitely looking manageable here. Should be able to pull this win off since we do resist the fire. We don't have to really worry about the Brave Birds because we can still take 2 of those as the Zygarde here because, again, the thing is just super disgusting. Going for a Sacred Fire. They don't want to lower their defense quite yet. And of course, we're just going to keep on throwing these crunches here, getting our first shield out of them. More than likely, this might be a Brave Bird here. That's exactly what it is. Doing a good amount of damage, but they lowered their defense, swapping back into their Tapu Bull. And we're just going to automatically throw the Dark Pulse here, see if we can get a shield. Still doing quite a bit of damage, resisted by that Fairy type, but they're letting it go. That Shadow Claw is really going to start adding up. I knew that was going to be one of that Fairy move, but I just shielded it up just because it's still going to do a decent amount, and I want to maintain that health here and do a little bit more damage. So we're looking pretty good. At this point, I think we're just going to quick move down. Yeah, well, it's a wrap. Yeah, that last quick move we snuck through. So essentially what happened was I snuck a quick move through. It wouldn't have KO'd, but they lowered their defense, so it was enough to KO afterwards. So we're looking pretty good with people throwing here. It's helped us 2 times so far. All right, so we are going to get a 5-0, I think, at one point with this team. Met with a Zygarde. Oh boy, this is definitely not good for us. We don't want to get hit by that Crunch and or Earthquake. This is obviously going to be a Crunch here, so we can let it go, as it's not so detrimental as compared to the Dawn Wings, because, I mean, that thing's going to be 4 times weak to the Dark moves, right? So we're going for the Sunsteel Strike, and they actually shield it up. That's okay, oh, fine, I guess. A lot of energy right down the drain there. And they're going to be swapping into their Dialga. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and build up to Earthquake. We'll let this Iron Head go and see if they want to use that last shield. If they do, we'll be looking pretty good. And we'll just go in here with our Dusk main, right? And they shielded it up and they decide they want to farm down. So they've used both shields. We have 2 left on our end. So we're going to go ahead and bring in the Dusk main and, of course, go for the Dark Pulse because Sunsteel Strike is just it's resisted. And then we swap into Kyogre to catch an Iron Head. Not very effective. Their dragon is essentially out of here. Yeah, they have another dragon, but it is also going to be part ground, so it is taking a decent amount of damage here, and we will be able to add it up. Hopefully there's going to be a Fairy in the back, but that's not really going to be... Well, actually, no, that'll be fine because they have no more shields left, so we'll be able to get to Sunsteel Strike potentially. But it doesn't really matter. We're going to go ahead and take them out with the Kyogre here. And what is in the back? It is going to be a Landorus. Let's go. So what we're going to do is actually catch with the Dusk main and then have them use up that energy, get to the Surf. Oh, they almost caught. They almost caught. That would have been so clean, but no cigar, and we're going to take that win. Good game. All right, keeping it moving here. What are we going to see next? And we're going to be leading with the Dusk main. Of course, we're met with a Giratina Origin. All right, very interesting. So they'll more than likely go for an, what is it? Ominous Wind, spacing the name out. Don't know why. And we're going to go ahead and shield it up anyways. I don't really care. Going for the Dark Pulse. Now I'm going to get to another one here. And if they want to use 2 shields, we're going to be looking amazing. So what I want to do is just let this go. That's fine. You can take me out with the Ominous Wind. As a matter of fact, it's not enough. So they're going to be able to farm up a little bit, but that's all right. Okay, we're going to bring in the star of the show, basically, Zygarde here, to just farm them down. If they don't have Dragon Pulse, we're just going to absorb the Shadow Ball. No problem at all. Yeah, just easy money. All right, getting rid of their dragon. Hopefully they don't have another one. Oh boy, Kyogre. So we're going to go ahead and throw Earthquake here. Now, I kind of screwed up. I don't know if this is a screw up or not, but all right. So what I was going to do is swap into Kyogre. I realized, well, what's the point? I might as well stay here with the Zygarde now, get rid of the 2 Pokemon that are resisting the water, and then we'll be able to hopefully see something in the back weak to it. No, it's another frickin' dragon. Lovely. But here is the power of Kyogre. They resist water, but we're still going to be able to do quite a bit of damage despite them resisting it and them really digging in with that Dragon Breath here. We are going to shield this up. We don't care what it is. We just need to preserve our health. Got some nice frame skipping going on. Beautiful. Getting to another Surf. Now, I typically would run Blizzard, but Thunder's been helping me out way too much. All right, so they are going to be taking that win. They do swap into their Kyogre. We farm them down, and then the Zygarde's also going to farm down the Dialga as well, and we take that win. Next game, what are we going to see with our Duskmane? A Dialga, and this is a good matchup here as we do resist all of those moves, and we'll be able to hit them quite hard with the Dark Pulse. It's going to take about 2 of those to take them out, plus the quick moves, and we're going to be looking good. Now, if they do hit you with a Draco, it does do quite a bit of damage, and we are going to see some nice frame skipping going on, some good old lag. You gotta love it. Yeah, it just happens at the most crucial times. All right, we take that win. They have a Rhydon or Rhyperior, so I swap into the Zygarde. Now, what I should have technically done is just let the Rhyperior take me out with a couple of quick moves, and then I bring in the Kyogre, they swap, then I bring in the Zygarde. But we're not really going down that path, so let's see how this does work out. At least they're swapping into the Rayquaza so we can handle this, because the Kyogre simply does not want to go up against that. It's an absolute nightmare of a matchup for you, especially if they lower your attack, and we're all set. They have 2 shields, we have 2. They're going to see the Kyogre back out, and we take that win. And we're going to keep it moving here and see what we have going on next. Try out this team. I'm telling you, it does great. All right, so we have the Dawn Wings. This is a good matchup because you are actually going to be 4 times effective with your Shadow Claw, a lot weaker compared to you, right? So they are going to be catching with their Zacian. Very nice catch you got going on there. Very good. And we're going to go ahead and bring in Kyogre. This is more than likely going to have Wild Charge because of course, the algorithm is always going to pair me up with a Zacian that always has Wild Charge if I'm using Kyogre. Oh, of course, always. And if I'm not using Kyogre, then it'll have Close Combat and Play Rough. And yeah, simple as that, no matter what. Anyways, they're going to be bringing back their Dawn Wings, and they're going to actually farm us down. Now, they do have quite a bit of energy on that, so I'm just going to bring in the Zygarde to absorb their... All right, Dark Pulse, that's what they want to go for. They thought maybe I might shield it up. Nope, not today. And we're actually going to let this go as well. And that's no problem, just eating it all up there. And they're bringing in a Xerneas. Okay. We're going to go ahead and go for that Earthquake here. And then we're going to immediately swap into the Duskmane. And we are going to shield these up because the Close Combat is going to do a decent amount. It's not going to be quite enough to take us out, but we do have 2 shields. So let's go ahead and just protect it. Go for a Dark Pulse, getting their last shield. At this point, we don't need to go for the Sunsteel Strike because they're lowering their defense with the Close Combat, and we're going to be perfectly fine. So we will shield this up so we can take them out. They do swap. That's okay. We're just going to throw immediately here. We don't even need to hit these bubbles, and then we're going to immediately swap into the Zygarde and then farm them down with Dragon Tail. Let's go. All right, let's keep it going here, folks. What are we going to see next is Zacian. All right, well, this is not so bad. Okay, this is not so bad. Of course, you'll be one-shotting them with Sunsteel Strike, but they're going to always shield it up. Okay, so we're going to have to just bait around here and see what happens. But they're going to swap. We're going to go ahead and retreat, bring in our Kyogre as they do bring in their Ho-Oh. We have a ton of energy on that Duskmane, so we're looking pretty good here. Health is a little bit low, but still in the yellow. One more hit and we're going to be in the red. Of course, Kyogre is going to be able to handle the situation here. They do go for the Brave Bird, unfortunately getting to another charge move. So I am going to shield this up so we can win the swap. They did use the shield themselves, so it's not as if I'm at a disadvantage, and now I get to pick the matchup. Plus, this is still going to be doing a decent amount of damage to the Zacian. The Surf's still, amazing here. Now, I would put Origin Pulse on this, and I do randomly, but it still works pretty fine with Surf when you use it in raids as a Mega. Because I was just not too impressed with Origin Pulse, to be honest with you, especially in PvP. It does do good damage, but yeah. So they're going to be backing out, and we do take that win. All right, sounds good. Keeping it moving here. What are we going to see in that lead? Another Zygarde. All right, these things are starting to show up more and more as people are completing the routes and getting those cells enough to do it, and it does take quite a bit of time, so people are starting to now just start, finishing that race. And here we are, and of course we're just gonna play that same old song of dance, just Dragon Tail Crunch, Dragon Tail Crunch. Again, I've already said, if you have Outrage, you win these matchups. You will be taking those wins for sure. All right, so they are actually going to be able to outpace us because they did have a little bit more energy, so unfortunately we are going to go down here. And I think I do bring in Kyogre to farm them down because we don't want to get hit by the crunch, and they are going to get to the crunch before we take them out, especially if I was in there with the Shadow Claw. That would have definitely allowed them to get there. So we do have a good amount of energy. We took out their dragon. Hopefully there's not another one. They're bringing in Duskmane themselves. Sounds good. This is going to do a lot of damage to them. Oh yeah, pretty much half. Immediately swapping into my own and going for the Dark Pulse to kind of force them to shield and then swap, and they do have a Ho-Oh in the back, unfortunately for me, so this is not looking the best. So we're going to have to make sure we don't allow them to sneak in quick moves or letting that first Dark Pulse go, and we get to another one. This is big. We just needed to get to that last one there and make them use that shield, or they let it go. Okay, brave person, but that's okay because we have 2 shields left and we just took them out there. They have a lot of energy, but they're not going to be able to get off 2 charge moves, and that's pretty much a wrap. So we'll go ahead and shield this up here. But they are still holding on to a shield. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull this one off. I think we're actually going to finally take a loss here if they do outpace me. Oh, we got to it, but they're going to be at a higher attack. Yep, good game. Good game. All right, you got me. Good stuff. All right, now for our final showdown. What do we have here for the last game? A mirror match. Let's go. So like I was discussing about the fusion with Kyurem and Reshiram and Zekrom, you're going to want the best Kyurem because you're going to see a ton of mirror matches when you do bring him into Go Battle League, and people rate it so hard to get enough energy to make those fusions happen, and simply because they just want a really good one of these because they chop the charts. Oh gosh, can't even freaking speak. That, everybody just rates so much that they get 100. So you'll be at a disadvantage, but yeah, that's why you want the best of the best when it comes to those. So you can chop the tarts, remember that. All right, so what do we have going on here? A Palkia Origin up against our Zygarde. You always love to see this matchup. Oh yeah, Aquatail. Hey, we're gonna take this win. There you go. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you all next time. Take care.
Hey! So you're finally here! Fantastic!